This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, July the 11th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Skycam from Haleyville this morning showing some high cirrus clouds across central Alabama. The surface pattern contains primarily a high pressure area over the southeastern U.S. As we see a big ridge in the upper atmosphere that is basically over East Texas, and that ridge will be gradually moving a little bit further to the west over the next several days. So we're not going to be seeing a great deal of any kind of pattern change across the southeastern U.S. Temperatures this morning, thanks to those thunderstorms we saw yesterday, dropped down into the lower 70s for the most part. We still, a few spots, still seeing the upper 60s, but definitely the warmer days of July are upon us. And the orange areas you see on the watch warning map are actually heat advisories, and I expect to see more of those over the next several days as we head into the development of that ridge over the south central U.S. And the QPF forecast, the quantitative precipitation forecast, showing very little rain over Texas once again, with the rain primarily around that upper ridge. And the result, too, is that we have the Storm Prediction Center outlooking a marginal risk over the south part of Alabama with that convergence zone that we saw develop yesterday, and then another marginal risk up over Iowa and parts of the eastern Dakotas, with a slight risk over the coast of Virginia. For day two, the enhanced risk develops across parts of Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Iowa, and extends with a slight risk down into parts of Illinois and the Ohio River Valley. And the tropics remain quiet as a result of all the dry air that has come across from the Sahara, but the eastern Pacific is much more active, with a couple of areas that are expected to develop into storms over the next 24 to 36 hours. And Typhoon Chan-Hom is skirting by Shanghai and the coast of China this morning as it begins to recurve to the northeast. All right, let's take a look at the 06Z GFS model run. And the slight convergence zone that we saw with the development of thunderstorms yesterday is expected to sag a little further to the south today, and that should be over the south part of Alabama, where that marginal risk was. And the ridge continues to be strong over the lower Mississippi River Valley. We don't see much change in that ridge on Sunday, although it moves just a little bit to the west, and so we expect to see the possibility of isolated storms. And once again, I think most of us stay dry. The likelihood is probably about a 1 in 5 chance for most folks. The ridge continues to be the dominating feature on the weather pattern, as we see a little slight troughiness on the east coast on Monday. And then when we get into Tuesday, we see that troughiness over the East Coast and the mid-Atlantic states a little more pronounced. And so there's going to be a surface low up that way with a cold front coming into that region. But for the southeastern U.S., we stay pretty much with the isolated showers and thunderstorms. The ridge dampens out a little bit on Wednesday, and again into Thursday, we still see that 594 contour over Texas, so definitely dry weather, and we're kind of on the edge of everything here. So once again, just the possibility of some isolated storms as in the heat of the afternoon, primarily between about 1 and 8 p.m. or so. When we get out to the end of the week, Friday, and then into Saturday, we see that ridge still just to our west. So again, not much change. Now the GFS is suggesting here at the end of the week on Saturday that we're seeing a little decrease in the heights, so we may see temperatures more into the lower 90s as we head towards the latter part of the week. And then we get out into voodoo country, and we definitely see the development of a brief period with the troughiness over the eastern part of the country, but that is a rather brief period as we see later in the latter part of July, the ridge coming back. That will do it for the Weather Extreme video for this Saturday morning. I expect to have the next one posted on Sunday morning. In the meantime, keep checking back with the blog for later updates on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great Saturday, and Godspeed.